Entering my final season at Iowa State, I've had the opportunity to reflect on the past 4 years and how grateful I am to be a Cyclone. The endless support from my teammates, coaches, university, and Cyclone Nation is what has made these some of the best years of my life. This support has been even more appreciated the last couple years as I've dealt with adversity off the court. By sharing my story, I hope to build awareness and provide hope to everyone else fighting an invisible battle. As an athlete, I've dedicated my whole life to becoming the best basketball player I could be, not just for myself, but for my teammates, coaches, family, and community. If I wasn't performing at a high enough level, then I would feel guilty for letting others down. This created an obsession with doing everything I could to improve because my sense of self-worth was dependent on the team's success and my own performance. Because of this, I'd spend countless hours in the gym, refusing to let anyone outwork me. Entering my junior year, I'd reached a point that no matter how much time I spent in the gym, I wasn't making any improvements. I had to find a different way to gain an edge, so I began focusing on ways to improve my body and athleticism. Originally, this looked like extra sessions in the weight room, just wanting to become stronger and faster. However, I wasn't seeing a big enough shift in my performance, so I wasn't satisfied. I had to take it one step further. I began focusing on my diet in an attempt to change my body. Initially, it worked. The team was winning games, and I finally felt that I was playing better. This reinforced the idea that if my body was right, then my performance would reflect that. Since I finally found something that seemed to improve my game, I became fixated on it. Before long, my new habits began to catch up with me, and my body couldn't sustain the demands I was placing on it. The medical team began expressing their concerns to me, but I brushed it off because in my mind, I was just working hard and trying to be the best athlete I could be. Going into my senior year, there was a lot of uncertainty surrounding our team, and I knew that I needed to be at my best. That off-season, I became more obsessive than ever with my workouts and eating habits. My body was shutting down, but I ignored it and told myself this is what it took to be successful. After many hard conversations, I was told that I had an eating disorder. I was in complete denial. I didn't fit the mold of someone who would get an eating disorder, and in my mind, there was no way something like that could ever happen to me. I convinced myself that I wasn't sick. I was just doing what dedicated athletes do. However, the eating disorder was in control of my life, and I didn't even realize it. I wasn't able to eat enough to keep up with the demands of my sport, so my health continued to get worse. I was completely pulled from basketball 1 month before our first game. I felt an overwhelming amount of guilt for letting it get to this point and letting my teammates and coaches down. Eventually, I was able to get my body back to a place that I was medically safe to play again.
A big standing ovation as Emily Ryan is back in the lineup for Iowa State, making her first appearance of the season.
On the court, I was playing at a high level, but off the court, I was really struggling. By the end of the season, I was physically and mentally hanging on by a thread. I barely had enough energy to play and practice, but I also had to find the strength to put on a smile and act like nothing was wrong. I couldn't let anyone see I was struggling. I was supposed to be a strong senior leader that had it all put together. When season ended, we knew something had to change if I wanted to play my 5th year. We decided to dedicate the offseason to seeking higher level care. I spent 88 days in treatment at an eating disorder facility in Denver. Although it was the hardest thing I've ever done, I was able to leave treatment with a new belief that my value as a person is greater than what I can do on a basketball court. It took a long time, but I finally came to the understanding that being sick wasn't my fault and that eating disorders are real, complex illnesses. Eating disorders don't discriminate and no one is immune to them. Although it's not always something we can see, mental health is so important and can be just as debilitating as a physical injury. Healing from a mental illness isn't something that can be done alone. It requires support from others. Reaching out for help is not a sign of weakness, but of strength. Regardless of what sport culture tries to tell us, mental illness is not mental weakness. Although it's not always perfect, I look forward to continuing the journey of healing from my eating disorder, and I'm grateful to have the opportunity to play one more season in an Iowa State jersey. My goal is that we emphasize the importance of athletes seeing themselves and being seen by others as real people. People who are special for the person they are and not just what they accomplish.